We're live. We're live. We're live now?
We're live now.
We're live now.
Hi, live.
Mostly hi, YouTube. We don't know how YouTube works. This is the first time. So I'm also now going to go and tweet about YouTube. I am also absolutely certain that no Shadowhunters fans are going to be with us for at least the next 15 to 20 minutes because we've only just gotten over the Dario.
There's two persons here. Is that us? Or is that new person?
I don't think that's us. I don't think we count. I don't know whether we can see. Oh, no, there's one person here.
One person. Oh, no. We've lost someone already.
So it's definitely not us, though.
Hey. Hey.
How do I tell people about where the linky is?
She found it.
I mean, I found something.
Found it, YouTube. She found it.
This is hard work. I wish we were better at this. How are you?
I'm all right.
Do you want to call that devil child over here
Ziggy.
and entertain
Come here.
the internet?
Come here. Come here. Yeah, she doesn't do that.
I'm just trying to let people know that we are live on YouTube, maybe with the correct link.
Look.
And Ruth will entertain you with a dog. Now, we don't even know whether your parents are watching because we don't get names.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I also, there's a say something button. Yeah, okay, so that's working, I think. I don't know how any of it goes. Look, there it is. Because you on the telly. You left.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We are live on YouTube.
Link.
Join us. Link. Well, it's the best picture you've ever taken.
Hey! Hey!
Okay. Right, while we see how this works, let's go through some of our... Hi, Puppy!
What is going on?
Very long ago, unanswered questions. You hid my tea from me. That's what's going on. I don't know. I think we should go for the dramatic backlighting. Whee! I look angelic. The Book Dragon 15 wants to know, what is your favorite book? Ruth's chasing a puppy, but she is present.
I don't have a very good answer to that question.
What's the last book you read?
The last book I read... Well, I'm reading The Lost Book of the White.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, I'm not very far in yet. But I'm a big Neil Gaiman fan. When I was a kid, my favourite books were the His Dark Materials trilogy. I'm a huge fan of Diana Wynne Jones and have been for many, many, many years. Like Terry Pratchett.
There's some books.
Those are some books. There you go.
What's the last book you read before the Malik book?
I think...
Other than obviously the other Malik book.
Wolf Hall, technically, because it took me forever to get through it, just because it's very long, rather than because...
So is that the last book you read, but also the book you've been reading for years?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm currently reading Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People.
Very good.
Which is very good and actually a easy read. Sounds
It's very accessible.
yeah,
Right.
sounds obviously wrong, but it is a
It's
very
not kind of
very good writing, very good read.
right. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not it's sort of intense
Mm.
theory stuff. It's conversational.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mark Allen wants to know how many marlins could a marine merlin manage if a marine merlin managed marlins?
Could manage merlins.
Marlins.
Many.
Really? You think so?
I don't know. I was looking for an M word that made sense in context.
Millions.
Millions.
I mean, I'm assuming that a marine merlin would also have magic.
A magical marine merlin. Magical marine merlin.
Yeah. So a magical marine merlin could manage many marlins.
Merlin, like a merlin who was in the Marines, or a
Well,
marine merlin, like a mer person merlin.
I mean, no,
Like
I mean, or any of those,
marine
but I think mostly a
merlin.
marine biologist
Okay.
merlin. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Biologist doesn't start with an M, so it wasn't fun.
Well,
We didn't do
specify
that,
These
yeah.
things really. This is sort of like hard hitting question that we expect with plenty of background information.
Emma wants to know who is worse, Gaius or the dragon?
Gaius, because he pretends to not be awful, whereas the dragon sort of is just he doesn't pretend to care.
Yeah. And I think he doesn't pretend to not have an agenda.
Right. Whereas Gaius is the problem with Gaius is the dissonance of Gaius. The problem with Gaius is that Gaius is presented to you as somebody who is loving and caring and compassionate and wise and right. And the reality is that he's very few of those things most of the time.
Is she eating the wall
I
again?
don't know. I think they need to. Yeah.
Now, the puppy is very fun, and we are very glad that we have the holiday puppy, but it does have a tendency to try and eat its way out of the house. Just chew its way through ceilings. Oh, give me the puppy.
No,
Let me have a go.
she's not.
Ruth is refusing to let me have a puppy.
She's just scrabbling under the door. I don't know what she wants.
Refusing me the puppy.
Refusing the puppy.
So sad.
Oh, 4 people.
Hello. Could someone who's maybe on a laptop or possibly this works on a phone, I don't know, but could someone just write something in the comment section so we can see whether the comment section works?
Someone say something.
Oh, hello.
Delana! Hello, you want the dog?
You have to do it.
Okay.
Delana is the dog's mummy. You have to do it. Or maybe this is a not give me the dog, please. It's a dog, please. Stop being difficult.
Dog, please. Here's dog.
Clearly, the comment section does work.
Clearly. Dog. There you go. Hello. Hello.
Thank you, Magdalena. It works.
Right.
Everything works. Everything is awesome.
Are you going to
See?
settle down and stop being a freak?
Well, you can have a be nice. Everything's okay. You can come here. You can be my here friend. Dog friend.
Marvelous. Okay.
So, do you want to do a couple more minutes of buffer questions before we get started?
Sure.
Yasmina wants to know what inspired you guys to do podcasts about shows that you like / love. And I hope you will.
I don't know. What inspired us to do podcasts about shows what we love? I don't know.
I mean, I think what inspired you is the fact that you actually like podcasts.
I do.
I feel what inspired you to do a podcast is that you actually like podcasts and you really wanted people to have the conversation about Shadowhunters that people weren't having.
I think that's true. Yeah.
And what inspired me to do a podcast was that Ruth said she wanted to do a podcast, and I said, as a supportive friend, oh, that's cool. I'd listen to that, having never listened to a podcast in my life.
No.
And Ruth pointed out that I had to do a podcast with her.
Can't do it
So
by
I
myself. It
did.
doesn't work by myself.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
because I'd never listened to a podcast in my life. I didn't know the rules.
Yeah.
So I think that's what, inspired us. And then we just kept doing it.
Yeah.
Then we just kept going. See how he's a good dog. So good, Ziggy.
Yeah.
So good, Ziggy. Yes, you are. This is quickfire.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather fight Magnus or fight Alec?
Alec?
This is a Shadowhunters quickfire, by the way.
I mean, I do think that Magnus is intrinsically less murderous.
Yes, yeah.
But-
Though equally, Alec is very good about knowing exactly how hard to hit you to not murder you.
Right, but like assuming that something had happened between both individuals and I to mean that a fight to at least the first blood was inevitable, then
Dogcast, not podcast,
very good.
is a dogcast.
Then, well, I suppose it depends. I suppose if I was fighting Magnus, at least it would be over very, very instantaneously without me having to actually do
True.
any even vague attempt at violence.
Yep.
Though
Alec
Alec would knock me out with a single blow.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's sort of,
Also, like, I don't think, obviously, if you had to fight to the death, but I don't think Magnus just walks around and just goes, death.
well, no, but like I suppose it depends on what their
Beefing it is.
the result they were trying to achieve was. If they just needed to make me dead, and there wasn't a particular like vengefulness about it, but I just
It might be
I
okay.
had to be dead. I'd rather be magicked to death instantaneously than pummeled to death or sworded to death or
But
arrowed to the
depending-
brain to death.
Depending what you'd done, Magnus might not want to do it instantaneously. He might want to magically flail you.
Well, and if that was the case, then definitely Alex, because he'd probably only stab you.
He probably wouldn't flail you.
I don't think he would.
Yeah.
I don't think he would flay anyone. Hello, Juniper. Yes, there is a puppy.
I'm sorry, it died. Sorry, Delana.
There's
Your
a
dog's dead. It's not true. It's just down here. It's gone to sleep.
It's got an ear. See.
You can tell it's still alive because it has an ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, we're failing a quickfire, but this is still Shadowhunters quickfire. This is from the person 8 months ago who asked us to do the Would You Rather. Yeah, for YA.
Oh right. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Fight a bunch of ducks or fight Church the cat?
Church the cat. Like how many ducks?
A bunch.
A bunch.
Like the number of ducks that we met today.
I could definitely take one cat, depending on I could probably take 3 ducks, but if there were 300 ducks, then they would probably take me quite easily. So I'm going for Church the cat in singular.
Yeah. Also, ducks are fierce and they have, the ability to attack you from all directions. Cat can't fly.
No. True.
Yeah. Would you rather go on a double date with Emma and Julian or go on a double date with Will and Tessa? I don't know who any of these people are, so Roche's going to answer.
I don't really know who. Well, I've never met Will in actual paid form. He's been dead in all the books I've ever read, so I have no idea.
So you don't want to go on a date with him?
Well, no, but like equally,
did.
Julian was not a character that I got on with particularly well overall. So Tessa and Will, at least they'd have interesting historical facts to tell me.
Fair enough. Be in the possession of the Grey Book or be in the possession of the Book of the White? I haven't started the novel yet. I don't know what the Book of the White does in the book.
The Grey Book is
Isn't
just
that
the
the runes?
and the Book of the White is a spell book. I have no use for either.
But people seem to really want you dead if you have the Book of the White. So I don't want that. Do you want to read comments?
Juniper didn't know what was going on and came in late and was trying to work it out. And Mary said, "We look so cozy. Hope you're enjoying your holidays," which we are. Thank you very, very much.
We have blankets. I'm wearing a scarf because it's a bit chilly.
It's a little bit chilly, but it's very nice.
Basically, I was going to start the fire, but then also New York Shadowhunter at Home convention mat tickets went on sale and the website crashed. And it was at 5 o'clock. It should have been absolutely fine to take an hour to do that. It took an hour to do that, so I didn't make a fire.
It's fine. It's fine. Juniper suggests that a bunch of ducks might be like a bunch of bananas, so therefore 5 to 8. So
Okay.
I'd still definitely rather church the cat in singular.
Also, I think generally like 5 to 8 is the number of ducks you see in a
Mhm.
gathering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently you'd love Will Herondale.
Ah. Is he broken?
He's not blonde. I know that.
What's the point of
I
him
know
then?
that from the fan art.
No, what's the point? Would you rather be enemies with Jace or best friends with Valentine?
Enemies with Jace. Like, there's many reasons that Jace might have taken against me. Like, I might have, done something really rude to him that one time, but that doesn't mean I'm like a racist, genocidal maniac person. And I think you really have to be in order to be in with Valentine. So
I don't know whether there's like, you're best friends with Valentine, but then you leave.
Like Luke, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
possibly.
that will work. But yes, I think enemies with Jace. I mean, I would not like that. But yes.
Book Jace.
Book Jace?
Book Jace.
Oh yeah, we're enemies with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? Would you rather date a werewolf or date a vampire?
Werewolf.
Because of the lack of dead.
Because of the lack of dead.
We're going to do 3 more minutes of this before we actually start properly. Would you rather have cat eyes like Magnus or horns like Ragnarfell?
Cat eyes, obviously.
It's also like they don't get in the way of you wearing a hat.
No, exactly.
I mean, I'd rather have a tail, but
That's not one of the options.
Wasn't one of the options. Would you rather be in mutual love with your parapetite or be in love with someone who will always love another?
Be in love with someone who would always love another. That makes it my problem, my thing to get over in my own time.
It's also mutual love with your parapetite. So much worse as well.
Actually, the worst.
Because that's literally just like, we cannot.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, actually the worst.
Also, I would just kind of go like, yeah, but can we really not? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Let's try a little, and then the world ends.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Would you rather be only able to speak in people's minds, like a silent brother, or only be able to shout? I mean, I speak very loudly, so I don't have an indoor voice.
I suffer from like intense self-consciousness if anybody looks at me who's not like somebody that I know and trust. So I'd definitely rather be able to only speak to people through weird mind osmosis.
Big voice in their head.
Rather than shouting.
Would you rather be attacked by spiders or by umbrellas? I know Light would have a genetic fear of umbrellas.
I mean, like the duck question, though, I have to query how many umbrellas and how many spiders and what attacked means in that particular.
I know you don't. No, this is not a question.
If you're talking like being attacked by 4 house spiders, then there's a very limited amount of damage to me. If somebody is like, if the umbrellas are being wielded and there's 4 of them, that could blood and bruising and take people's eye out. So,
what did you do with that spider in the bath?
I picked it up in a cup and I put it outside. Honestly.
See, but it's the thing now. Like, she would say that because otherwise I would cry. And I should just believe her, but I don't.
It's true.
I mean, you're not a good liar,
and
so
then
I'm assuming
I
it is
freaked
true.
out because I put it out on the step and the puppy came with me and I thought, oh God, I'm going to have taken the spider out and put it on the step and then the puppy's going to eat it. But she didn't. It was fine.
The puppy's like, me? I wouldn't do that. Okay. Would you rather be trapped inside a necklace like Tesla's angel? I don't know what any of these people are. We're not answering this one.
Okay.
Would you rather fight with a whip like Izzy or fight with a bow and arrow like Alec?
Bow and arrow. The whip's a stupid weapon.
Also, the bow and arrow is much further away from death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather be a shadow hunter or a warlock?
I wouldn't enjoy Shadowhunter society, but as we've spoken about before, I have a big like normal life, normal mortal comfort type of thing. The idea of immortality scares the ever-living daylights out of me.
Fair enough.
So it would depend on context.
But mostly it would be the thing that dies.
If I could be a shadow hunter and abstain from shadow hunting, then I'd be that. If I was forced into a life of violence and bloodshed and an early death, then I'd be a warlock and I'd suck the immortality out. What about you?
Warlock. Why would anyone not want to be a warlock? I mean, all of those
Because
reasons.
all of these reasons, yeah.
But that's the fun bit. You're okay, Juniper. You're not spamming up the chat. You're chatting. That's what the chat is for.
For chatting in.
We have finished our 8 months waiting. Would you rather?
Marvellous.
Do you want to explain
Yeah, so we
to
have a new game.
what
came
we're
up
doing
with.
today?
Yeah, we came up with a new game. We're going to, in hope of inspiring fun conversation, we're going to randomly pick 2 television shows, and we are going to use the cast of the first television show to cast the second TV show, if that makes sense.
I've been saying this on Twitter like repeatedly, and they're kind of like, no, we're gonna cast TV shows with the cast of other TV
Right.
shows.
We're doing a fan cast, but only being able to use the people who were in another entirely unrelated TV show.
i.e., who in Shadowhunters would be the characters in Merlin?
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've got the TV shows. We picked like 9 TV shows that we know the casts of relatively well. So there's 9 of them. So I need somebody to please give me a number between 1 and 9.
I can do it.
7. Good. Okay. So that is the cast of Friends. We are recasting Friends with the cast of, and another number between 1 and 9, not including 7, please.
Pick me, pick me. Pick me, pick me. 2.
2. So
Okay.
we're recasting Friends with the cast of Shadowhunters.
Okay. So who in Shadowhunters is going to be Joey?
Exactly so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we've got we've got 6 Friends characters to cast, and let's not get into any of the other ones, but we've got 6 Friends characters to cast. You can use anybody you like from the Shadowhunters verse. Doesn't have to be a core character. You can use anybody you like. And you can make a case for either the actor who would manage it,
Or the character.
or the character.
Simon is Chandler.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Whereas Alberta could be anyone because he's
'Cause
amazing.
he's amazing. Yeah.
Alberta can be Phoebe. Who got Simon Lewis as Chandler.
Yep. Juniper wants to see Alberto as Phoebe.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I can kind of see like early Maris Lightwood as Monica.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I can get down with that.
Not later when she becomes cool, but earlier before she becomes cool. Who's Rachel? I think Emerald could do Rachel. Rachel's arc
I'm sure Emerald could do Rachel.
of ridiculous,
Yeah.
vapid human to super awesome.
Yeah. No, I think that's a quite comfortable zone.
I think she would rock that one.
Have her play about in.
Equally, I would totally love to see Mafia Daddario play Rachel. That would be amazing. You pick some people. Apparently, Juniper said I want to see Alberto as Phoebe before I said it, or as I said it.
Nice. So,
Oh, Melty, come here. There you go. Who's Joey?
see, Dom would be Joey.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he would be
obviously.
good. Yeah, okay.
Dom would be
Yeah,
Joey.
yeah. Jace can't be
Jace
Joey,
can't be
but
Joey,
yeah,
but
Dom
Dom
totally
would be
would.
Joey.
Yeah, yeah, okay, fair enough. That is obvious. Juniper says I don't like anyone on Friends enough to cast Dom or Jace as them. Well, we just made him Joey. We're sorry.
Yeah.
I like Joey.
Because in actual fact, Alec is Monica.
Yeah. But to be fair, that's also why Maris is Monica.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're not trying to get too far outside, if you're trying to find like a home for all of our core Shadowhunters cast, or as many of our core Shadowhunters cast as you possibly can, then Alec is Monica. And
Jade Hasuna would do an awesome Phoebe.
Jade Hasuna would do an awesome Phoebe. That would be cool. That would be cool. I hate Ross with a fiery vengeance. I don't want to make anybody be Ross.
Can we make Aldertree be Ross? Because they're both the worst. Like, not Nick Sagar, he's done no wrong, but Aldertree sucks.
Can be Ross. Okay.
Alaman Sprang or Through the Portal Valentine could be Joey. I would see the oversaturated Brunch Valentine.
Yeah.
Brunch Valentine was fun.
So who have we got left? Is it just Ross? Have we done it?
Yeah, no, it's literally just Ross. Because I am very convinced by Jade Hasuna being Phoebe.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
I think that's the funnest. Just Ross.
I mean, Isaiah could do it.
I mean, they could all do it. They're all very
do it.
talented. I just don't want to make them. There may be, they could
improve upon.
Give Ross some nuance.
But it's like, as far as like the not unpleasant, the sort of character sheet is concerned, he's a paleontologist, so has to be quite like academic inclined, book smart.
Also, I don't think Friends set out.
No, exactly.
Thinking that Ross is the worst.
Like he's textually a good father and a good friend and a good brother and
apparently a good boyfriend, even though that's insane.
The fact that in actuality he's
the worst
is not how he was presented in advertising.
I'm okay with Isaiah.
So I think I'd like to see Isaiah play somebody kind of like more textbookly academic, because he's got like a really like lovely kind of grounded intelligence about him.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really interesting if that was kind of translated into a more like actual academic.
It's also the Ross thing we really don't ever lean into.
Right, yeah.
Like we just use it as a joke.
Right.
Whereas possibly if you had someone that is slightly more exuding of the
There you are.
What is the puppy's name? The puppy is called Ziggy. Puppy's asleep.
So Birdie suggested 4
Ziggy.
earlier, so we'll use that as our first number.
Ziggy.
That is Black Sails. So we are recasting Black Sails with, and could I have another number, please? That is not 7, 2, or 4.
Pick me, pick me, pick me. I'm sorry, puppy.
1. So we are casting Black Sails with the cast of Buffy and Angel.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yep.
Right.
So let's just do as many as we can, because obviously Black Sails has an intensely large cast.
Who's going to be Charles Vane?
Who's going to be Charles Vane? James Masters has to be.
I would say so.
Spike as Charles Vane.
It seems really obvious, but
yeah, Spike as Charles Vane.
Fine.
I think Buffy's Flint.
Yeah.
I think you can do that with Buffy. I think Buffy is Flint, and I think that works. I think that works pretty well. I think Giles is Gates.
Which one's Gates? Is he the one who dies?
Yeah.
That is not helpful in Black Sails. Also, spoilers. No, Snorri puppy. Who's Eleanor? I think Charisma Carpenter could do it.
I think Cordelia could do it, Eleanor. I think that might work quite well.
And yeah, no, I think actually I like that. You know what's really depressing about using the Buffy cast to cast Black Sails?
They're all really white.
They're so white.
They're all really, really white.
And I'm not saying you have to cast actors of the same ethnicity for the same roles, but it's just like Black Sails is so beautiful because of how diverse it is. And now you're just like using this entirely white cast.
It's also about that. Like, you can't colourblind cast Black Sails.
No.
There are lots of things that you can colourblind cast. I mean, there are certain parts in Black Sails that you could totally colourblind cast.
Yeah, but you could colourblind cast Buffy. It wouldn't matter.
Right,
it would
no,
make
exactly.
no
it
difference.
would make no difference.
Yeah.
But Black Sails, because it's at least
talks
in
about
part
race a lot.
about race and racial politics, then you can't colourblind cast in the same way. Your partner would like to know who we would cast as Cordelia from the Black Sails cast.
Oh, if you went the other way around.
If we went the other way around. Come back to us on that one and we'll keep thinking.
I don't know whether you can hear the puppy snore, but it's so loud. Or at least here it's so loud. Who are Jack and Anne?
See, the thing is that Spike is also Jack.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Angel's Charles Vane. Maybe there's a kind of like a stoic righteousness to Charles Vane that maybe Angel could pull off.
But I also think Angel could be Flint because Buffy can be Flint.
Yes, no, that's true. That's true. But Spike,
and they're really the same.
Spike is Jack.
Yeah.
But
Drusilla's not Anne.
No, in no way whatsoever. I think Faith is the one who springs to mind, obviously, for Anne.
I was going to say, no one in Buffy has got the bite. But yes, Faith does. But Bush.
And I have no idea who could pull off Silver from Buffy cast.
Do you know?
You've got a theory?
Date's a demon? I mean, Tony Head can do it because Tony Head can do anything.
But that's, yeah.
But I'm not sure it would be the obvious pick I would make.
You know who might do quite an interesting turn as Silver is Doyle from Angel,
cute.
Who had quite a similar, I'm skeezy and only in it for myself to actual badass hero type kind of an arc.
Yeah.
I think could have gone further down that direction had he not abruptly departed the series.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest I can get.
Yep. And
Xander could maybe also do Jack. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, only in his vaguest,
in his
dreams.
Yeah, in his dreams.
Jack Rackham. But
he could have a go.
You could maybe do that.
Yeah.
And I think Xander they fill each other's narrative spaces.
Yeah. Who's I don't know her name.
Max. Miranda.
Yes, Max.
Well, this is where the having a really, 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 really white Buffy cast becomes a little bit difficult.
Does that mean Principal Wood is Max?
Dippy Woodhouse, my great whack, Max. See, I think if you're not worrying about race or just taking the whole thing in a very, very different, much whiter direction, then Fred would make quite a good Max.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, no,
Um,
Fred would.
That kind of like fragility that is very surface level and actually masks a huge amount of strength, I think could be quite interesting for it.
Oh, no, I want to watch Angel.
Me
What
too.
did you do?
Me too.
Oh, man.
I did it. So
But we come back to
we
Cordelia.
come back to Cordelia. We think Cordelia could do a fair run as Eleanor Guthrie if that
This
was
way
what
around.
that was the way around you were going, and the other way around.
I really want to see Charles Vane do it.
I think
I think Jack would do a fair. It'd be fun.
I think the role that Toby Schmitz, and I think probably the role that Jack Rackham would want to play from Buffy the Vampire Slayer is Cordelia Chase.
it'd be fun.
So there we go.
Right, we need 2 new numbers.
2 new numbers.
Can you reach my beverage because one of my arms is pinned by the dog? Thank you.
give us 2 new numbers between 1 and 9?
Didum, 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 didum. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know whether people have
we lost the people.
gone away or whether the chat is frozen. I don't know.
5.
5?
Firefly. We are recasting Firefly
Ooh, I like 5.
with the cast of another number. Somebody quick. With the cast of Lucifer.
Thank you, Kirsten.
So we're recasting Firefly.
Thank you, Brady.
We're recasting Firefly with the cast of Lucifer.
Okay.
So Lucifer does get to be Mal.
And I think
Yeah.
King Leather Trousers would do okay.
I think he'd rock it. I think there's that kind of like quite hard line when the push comes to the shove, but quite like
and like the truth telling.
frivolous up till that point.
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
quite
yeah.
a lot of like that sort of vibe. I think that would work.
Like
quite
just the moral
well.
compass that is very different from other people's moral
Right.
compass, but I could see it.
Chloe is Zoe.
Just because she has to.
Well, no, I think Chloe is Zoe. She's fundamentally quite a stalwart, more like maybe cookie cutter hero than most of the other members of the cast. That leaves Dan as Wash,
That works.
which
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
I think
Don't end their dating, which is.
but
that's
can't
okay.
focus on that. You keep knowing one show, but not any one show, but not the other. We're sorry.
I'm sure we'll get into a combination that
Works
does
for you.
work for
Yeah.
you. Sorry, Juniper. Sorry, Kristen. Sorry. Don't leave.
So that's Dan as Wash, Chloe as Zoe, Lucifer as Mal. I think we have Ella as Kaylee.
Okay. Yeah. That's really
I think Linda is Inara.
Yeah.
Inara, who does function as team psychologist, aside from anything else. Her space is a safe space.
Sure. Equally, Mazakin.
In no way whatsoever. Mazikeen is Jane.
I mean, there is that. Like Mazakin is the one who just keeps killing people,
Right. Mazikeen
and not thinking it through.
is Jane, and sort of by mistake accidentally betraying the team.
Yes.
Sometimes she does that too.
Yeah, she does do that. No, totally.
And then that leaves
Dr. Simon. That could be Dan as well.
It could be Amenadiel as Shepherd Book,
Yeah.
which works nicely.
Yeah.
And
And then we're out of Lucifer people.
then we're out of Lucifer.
So Dan has to play both Simon and Wash.
Yep. And I think Trixie gets to be River.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
She's quite young.
There we go.
Okay, new number combination.
New numbers.
And we hope that Kristen and Juniper both know both the shows.
2 new numbers. 3.
Plus 3.
So we're recasting Merlin
Good start.
with the cast of Doody 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 Doody.
Da-dum, 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 da-dum. You are so unconscious. I don't know whether Elena's still here, but she's going to think we've murdered you.
We're recasting Merlin with the cast of Criminal Minds.
I don't think that's going to work, but okay. I also think afterwards maybe we should have another number and we'll recast Merlin again with something else. But yes, let's try it with Criminal Minds.
You know those two. Hooray!
Score.
Okay, so Prentice is Morgana
Okay.
and JJ is Gwen. JJ is Team Heart. Kind of a mother vibe.
Yeah.
From her.
No, I think JJ works really well.
I think Prentice is the one with the shady past and you're not quite sure about her sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
she never goes evil as far as I know, but
I don't know. We haven't seen the last 2 seasons.
it's true.
Maybe that's what's going to happen.
So I'd say Prentice is Morgana. I think Reed is Merlin and Morgan is Arthur.
Yeah, I think that's the only combination that works. I mean, it's not the same dynamic,
Which,
but
right.
it would
But
totally,
I think it would work.
Yeah.
Which means that
Also, I would watch that show.
which means that Rossi is Gaius and Hotch is Uther.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think that's a little bit unfair on Hodge.
I think he could do it though.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you know, obviously,
The
what's his
actor,
face?
sure,
Yeah,
but no, like,
could do it,
I
but
think Hotch could do it. I think
Yeah.
Hotch could go in a direction that was like overbearing father who had just gone like too far past the mark of acceptability.
because I think because I think Uther, you know, otherwise has to be like, was it season 13 where the bureau was taken over by that evil hussy person who didn't really want him to do anything and just wanted, you know, PR and press and let people die until she got a good article out of it. But who cares?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even care about that person.
Yeah, that does mean we don't have a part for Penelope, which is sad. But I think we might.
She could be the dragon.
She would enjoy that.
Yeah, she would.
She would. Knows all.
Yeah.
Often kept distance in a sort of cave environment.
And you go to her when you don't know anything else and you need her to research it. Like,
boom. There we go. That was easy. That was much easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So give us another number and we'll recast Merlin with something else. Your phone's fallen asleep. We will never know. It's not for you. It's not for you. Can we have another number? I don't want you to pick our own numbers. And that's just cheating. Oh, you have to pick a number.
Please do Merlin and Shadowhunters as a bonus. Okay, we'll do that at the end.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that at the end or should we do that now? I don't know. I've lost all confidence in my ability to organise things.
We'll give it 5 more seconds if we get a number. It's a countdown now. We haven't. So
Okay.
Let's do. Oh no, we got a
8.
number. Okay, we'll do Merlin and Shadowhunters at the end.
Okay, so recasting Merlin with the cast of Dollhouse.
Okay. So we've got Echo, who kind of works as Merlin, I guess, because she has the big destiny that's going to change the world.
I guess so, yeah. All right.
But isn't actually, you know, she's the catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that kind of works.
Mm-hmm.
But that means that you kind of need someone to be Arthur. So, spoilers for Dollhouse. If you haven't seen Dollhouse and you're planning to watch Dollhouse, please listen away now.
Put your fingers in your ears and start humming.
Because Boyd can be Arthur to Echo's Merlin for
Oh no,
at the beginning.
Paul
but
has to be.
Boyd is Uther.
Paul has to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Boyd is Uther
Yes.
because he means well.
Yes.
You know, he's trying to achieve a big goal.
Yes. No, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And yeah, so Paul is Arthur, which is just no.
Darmo Binnigat.
Bradley James.
His name is way less fun to say.
But his face is much more fun to look at, and his acting is much more fun to observe.
Oh, you're so mean to
I am so
Darmo
mean to
Binnigat.
Darmo Binnigat. He does a perfectly solid job at being
I think
that
he's
dude.
good.
Who's Gwen and Morgana?
I guess kind of Topher could do Morgana. Kind of like
Topher can do anything.
there's a kind of
Topher would be a good Merlin as well, though.
mm.
I mean, Franz Kranz would be a good anything, and again, would be a good Merlin.
Yes, Darmo Binnigat is in Dollhouse. He plays the manly man lead who's
He's an FBI agent for like the
FBI
first
agent.
2 episodes before he goes rogue
yeah,
to do the dollhouse thing,
Paul Ballard.
to be a savior, savior of the people. And yes, he's good in it.
I mean,
like,
he's good.
I'm being mean. He is
He's
very
good.
good at it, and he does that dude very well.
But no, I think Topher would make quite an interesting Morgana.
Yeah,
There's quite a lot of hubris about both characters, which I think is kind of interesting.
also a kind of messed up relationship with the parental figure.
Yep.
I mean, I'm kind of gutted that means that we don't have a role for
Adele.
what's her face, Adele. You should watch Dollhouse.
Dollhouse
It's
is-
so good.
Good and interesting. It's a weird show.
It's a weird show. If you want, we did 2 Thinky Thoughts episodes on it, about both the unaired pilot and the actual pilot. So you could check, certainly the actual pilot. The unaired pilot is very spoilery. So that podcast episode is very spoilery. But you could only listen to the aired pilot podcast episode that we did on Thinky Thoughts.
Yeah.
Just to see if you fancied it. I'm sorry, the dog is snoring again. Who's Gwen?
I mean, like Sierra could do it, you know.
Oh yeah,
Like that.
and Sierra's
Priya,
awesome.
rather
Yeah.
than Sierra, I guess.
Slash. She has a fun name, and I don't know what it is.
It's German. It's Diekman Lachman or something.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I think that's about as good as we can
Mm-hmm.
as good as we can do. Okay, so should we do?
Shall we do to finish up? Well, we could do both ways to finish up.
Okay.
We could recast a Merlin show with the Shadowhunters cast, and then the other way around. Okay, so definitely you can hear the puppy snores. She's so loud. She's so little.
Such a tiny nose, such a big snore.
We did take her out to make sure that she was slightly less crazy cakes for
Found a
this
duck
life.
pond. It was very exciting.
She didn't mind taking on a bunch of ducks.
Didn't.
No.
She revelled in it.
Oh yeah, I don't know. They came at her and she was very unsure about
Revelled
it.
in it in theory.
Yeah. Okay, so we're casting the Merlin cast using Shadowhunters. And I had to think about this earlier today for very briefly, but it's so weird because Merlin and Arthur are so obviously Alec and Jace, except they're not. They just it just doesn't the subservience is such a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And-
Well, except you're using the characters to cast the show, right? So that's the dynamic that is in Merlin doesn't have to be present in Shadowhunters. You know what I mean?
But I
It's
still
like,
think it should
because
match more.
those dynamics would be adopted or not, or interpreted in a way that was specific to the characters who were playing them. See, the thing I find confusing is that instinctively one goes, Jace and Arthur are very similar, which is true, except within the narrative roles that they play, Alec is Arthur.
Mhm.
Absolutely, no
Mhm.
question about it. Like
Equally, Magnus and Arthur are very similar.
I wouldn't go down that route personally. I don't see that personally. I think as far as Alec and Arthur are concerned, it's all about like responsibility and pressure on young shoulders and living up to expectations and
trying to make the world a better place.
To make the world a better place and
Like,
fumbling desperately to work out how you do that. And all that stuff about leadership and honor and taking responsibility for your own actions, all of that stuff is really core to both of their characters.
And I think that kind of works because you've then got Jace as, the muscle, for lack of a better word, but just, the actual person making it happen, which is also what Merlin's doing. Like
Jace
Merlin's
becomes
pulling the weight.
Of the round table in all particular.
All of them.
Well, particularly,
it
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you were using, if you were prioritizing a good role for Jace in your new version of Merlin, then you would limit and flesh out the Knights of the Round Table to create a good part for him.
That dog is really tired. I'm not even sure, like 4 seconds ago, she's a puppy, so she does the puppy sleeping, which is like being, nuts, and then crash, and then snore. I'd go Jace as Arthur and Simon as Merlin.
I think that's the way you'd go if you wanted to change Merlin as little as possible. If you wanted to stick as closely to Merlin as it appeared on television.
I was going to think about this earlier. If I wanted Simon to be Merlin, I could see Clary as Arthur.
Yes, no, that would work too. Yeah, no, totally.
And I think that would have the kind of, it's a different but similar balance dynamic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And and kind of Simon taking that more supportive role to Clary would come very, very naturally to their dynamic.
Though Clary has obviously much less of the actual a bigger view on the world. Her view is very self-centered and quite.
But I think that's
it's a small world.
But I think that's both Arthur and Clary's arc, isn't it? Like really, kind of. That they're both like young and new to power and responsibility,
but they have to
and learn. I mean, I think the reason for me that Alec fits the Arthur role better is because that's a responsibility that was put on him, from birth. That whole thing about like growing into the responsibility that is yours, whether you're ready for it or not.
Whether you want it or
something
not.
that's quite present for both. Whereas Clary had to pick up responsibility and run with it, but she had to do it all at once as an adult.
If Clary is Arthur, then Jace is definitely Gwen. Oh. He would hate it so much. Even like later on when Gwen gets to, stand up to people and say some things, Jace would just go insane.
I don't know. I think there's something.
You think it'd be quite good being a house husband?
Well, no, I think there is something that's pretty key to both characters, which is about service, which is about like that Jace exhibits service through soldiering, through, and Gwen obviously doesn't exhibit service through that particular medium, but they're both at service of the greater cause, whatever the greater cause is.
And we have talked about Jace being really happy when he he's in a box and he knows what he's doing and he's following a thing, and he's really, really bad with the visionary free range,
which Gwen is much better at. But I think that idea of service is pretty key to both of them.
But I think Jace could do it. If we were to cast the Knights, how would we cast the Knights?
You mean Leon, Lancelot, and Gwaine?
Yeah. And Percival, if you want to.
Elianne and Percival, sort of. Sort of because their character is a little bit underdeveloped rather than because I hate them in some way.
Nothing wrong with them. They're just not there.
They're just not underdeveloped. I think it's safe to say.
Who do we have as Gaius and Uther at the moment?
We don't have anyone as Gaius.
Okay, fine. We're not there yet.
Magnus fits most neatly into the Gaius role.
Or the Great Dragon.
But I think
Yeah.
that is where Magnus's part fits most tidily.
Also, that's being Gaia's to Alex Arthur and Jace's Merlin.
Sure, that would
We
certainly be...
need a whiteboard. Is that where we're at?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to not like double cast people.
Magnus could certainly be the Gaius to Clary's Arthur.
That would be awesome.
Simon's Merlin.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That, I think he could do
Yeah.
handily.
No, and that is much more comfortable in my brain.
There's nobody else who I think could slot neatly into that kind of mentory, wise person kind of a role quite so easily. I think.
I mean, you've got Isaiah to Clary's Arthur, just as per what they were doing on the show. But yeah,
maybe. But like,
I think Magnus is way more fun.
Knowledge is what Gaius is intrinsically there for. He's there to be a mentor as far as knowledge, morality, and guidance in that sense.
Oh. Kristen says, what about Alec as Lancelot? He is too good for this world.
And certainly there's a sort of like naivety in, you know, that sort of morally upstanding to the point of naivety, I think is quite...
Because I think this is kind of what I like about Alec is that he learns that just following the rules isn't actually always the best option. And I don't think Lancelot learns that. Well, I think Lancelot gets a chance to learn that, or it's not something that he wanted to learn, or the story wanted him to learn.
But it's not. The rules are very different.
Yeah.
In Merlin,
well, obviously,
in Shadowhunters, the rules as they are established, the establishment's rules are in the story to be subverted. They're there to be like, no, this is the way that we were doing things, and that's not the way it should be. In Merlin, the rules are aspirational.
Well, Lancelot's rules, the Knight's Code,
the rules that are set up in the show that you should follow are aspirational rules. The Knight's Code, chivalry, all of that stuff is aspirational. Uther breaks rules. Uther breaks the rules of the Knight's Code and is villainized for it.
Yeah, though obviously equally we also get Arthur to a point where he realizes that only noblemen being knights is nonsense and therefore rules need changing.
Yes.
And Lancelot doesn't, he obviously clearly does go with it eventually, but he doesn't have that arc.
Yes, but my point being though that within Shadowhunters, a big thread in Shadowhunters is about rebellion. Is about rebellion from the status quo. And
that's not what Merlin does.
In Merlin, it's about finding the truth of what your moral framework should be. It's not about rebelling against an existing framework. That's not the story they were telling. It's very different.
Who's Gwaine?
I mean, Jace,
I know.
Personality-wise, is
Jace is everyone.
It's Gwaine.
Jace would be such a fun Gwaine. I mean, Dominic Sherwood would be such a fun Gwaine.
Nearly as fun as Owen Mackham. Nearly, but not quite, I have to say.
Who's Sir Leon? Who's long suffering?
I think Luke is Sir Leon.
Oh, nice.
I think
and
Luke
trying really hard to just do his job.
And I think Underhill is Percival.
Oh, puppy.
Yeah.
Puppy.
And interestingly, I think Maya is Eliane.
Yes, yeah.
Down to interesting introduction, little shaky on the development in the dismount.
Shaky on the dismount. And that way, Aldertree can be Agravain.
Aldertree's definitely...
Because they both suck the hardest.
Aldertree's definitely Agravain.
I think that's about it, so
is there anybody we've missed?
You let us know.
We'll move
if
on.
If we've left stuff, but we're going to start reversing.
But shout if there's somebody that you desperately have wanted us to talk about that we haven't.
Also, I'm assuming YouTube doesn't do the same thing as Instagram. It's going to kick us out in an hour. But if it is, then we've got 25 seconds, and we're sorry if we leave. But I'm assuming it does. I don't know. This is our first time. We don't know.
We'll find out in 13 seconds, 12 seconds.
8,
It doesn't.
7,
Kristen said
6.
it doesn't.
5,
We could live stream for
4.
days. We won't.
3, 2,
But thank you.
1. Wah! Okay, we're
Okay.
fine.
Um.
You can go back to sleep. Countdown dog. Right, so we're casting Shadowhunters
with Merlin.
with Merlin.
Yeah.
See, that way round.
But that way round,
Like, Merlin's Clary.
yes. And Arthur is Alec and Morgana is Isabel.
It's much easier that way
Yeah.
round.
And Gwen is Simon.
Yep, same. Yep, totally.
Now I've run out of characters.
I'm also like,
my brain's
which
run out.
way round are we doing it? What's happening?
So-
You finished on Gwen is Simon. I'm like, Gwen from Merlin
It was much.
is Simon from Shut Up.
It's
Yes.
much easier doing only the one show once. That was,
Okay, so we've got Merlin as Clary Frey,
yes,
Arthur as Alec,
yes,
Simon as Gwen, Isabel as Morgana.
yes.
No, Morgana as Isabel.
Morgana is Isabel. Yes, yes.
So we're missing a Jace.
Well, we haven't got a role for Jace. No, we have. Yes, we're missing a Jace.
We're missing a Jace.
missing
We
a
need to
Jace.
cast a Jace.
Yes.
I mean, again, this seems the obvious reverse. Like Gwen
Gwen would make an
can be
excellent Jace.
Jace.
Yep.
Be a fabulous Jace. Now, equally, Gwen would also be a fabulous Meliorn.
That's just because of the hair. Though.
Yeah.
You've got nothing to base that on other than
I don't
the
know.
hair, and you'd like to see Owen Macken
I
with
mean,
fewer clothes on
oh,
than he
always.
usually wears. Yes.
Always. But also, there is the bit where Meliorn's all teasy and jokey and taking the piss out of Jace and, you know, asking him whether he thinks what number he is on 1 to 10. Like, Gwen would do that.
Yes, you would. Yes.
I think it works.
Gaius as Hodge. Yes, definitely Gaius as Hodge.
There's
Especially.
Hodge. Sorry, I was like, Hodge from Criminal Minds? That was way... No.
No, definitely if you're taking more of a like
Yep.
book interpretation of the
Yeah, who's
characters,
Valentine? I mean,
Uther.
obviously Uther, but
Uther as well.
if it's not Uther, do we have someone else?
No,
It is
it's
Uther, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So Uther's Valentine, Gaius is Hodge, which actually is really quite interesting in terms of that, you know,
It's
coupling.
the same dynamic.
Yeah,
It's exactly
totally.
the same dynamic.
that's very nice. And who's Magnus? It's like, is the Great Dragon Magnus?
Well,
Kind of Ragnarfell is the Great Dragon is Ragnarfell, really,
yeah,
not Magnus.
yeah.
And what does Lancelot do?
He hasn't got a part yet.
Because Lancelot could be Simon.
Leaving Gwen to be Magnus.
Well, that's kind of the question. Like, if we recast,
I think Gwen could do
yeah,
Magnus. I think that might work out okay.
I think that could be cool.
Because sort of there's a sort of notional like Morgana as Magnus, but that's just so the wrong vibe to me.
Yeah,
That just
no.
like that doesn't work for me at all. But Gwen could do Magnus.
Who's Alec at the moment? Arthur.
Arthur.
Oh, that's nice.
Arthur is Alec. Yeah.
That's worked out nicely.
Yeah.
Gwen's Magnus,
Yes.
and then he gets a date.
Yes. Yes.
Because I think Lancelot would do a good Simon.
Certainly a perfectly passable sign.
Yeah.
Have we missed anyone obvious?
We have started to really.
They've all started to merge in my
Merge.
head.
Everyone is the same. Everyone can play anyone on television. Who is Percival?
So we need Percival to play a part in the
In
Shadowhunters.
Shadowhunters.
Okay.
Underhill.
Yeah, I think so. Solid and reliable. Yeah.
Big, square, handsome in the right light.
Oh, poor Tom. Tom's very handsome.
He's very handsome. But Magnus doesn't like it when he pointed out.
Luke, who's playing Luke?
Who's playing Luke? No, who is Luke playing?
No.
Yes.
Who's playing Luke from the Merlin cast?
Oh, Luke's in Shadowhunters.
Yes.
God. This is the worst. It is. It's the worst. You sneezed in my face. It's just a dog yawning behind your finger. It looks like it's going to take your whole hand off. Okay, so who from the Merlin cast is going to play Luke? Yes? Right.
Yes.
Who's playing Clary? Merlin. Merlin's playing Clary.
Yes.
Is Gaius playing someone already?
Guys, it's Hodge.
Gaius is hot, damn it. Okay, fine.
I mean, someone like Leon would make a good Luke,
Oh, he would.
which is, again, just the thing that I just said, but in reverse.
Yeah,
But, like, you know.
I know, but it's like a new revelation to me.
Like, obviously, this is mostly in fic rather than in the actual show because, again,
they're not in that.
Underdeveloped. But, like,
Yeah.
Leon quite often plays this more sort of mentory role. Like, he's an older knight. There's quite a lot of stories in which Arthur squired for him.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. So I think that might
No,
work
I like
quite
that.
well.
Yeah, I like that. Is there anyone else that we've missed from Shadowhunters?
Or anybody else that you'd want us to do? Because I think we're pretty much.
Yeah.
This
Well,
was
out
fun
of-
though.
All of those choices, pick the Good Omens. Who is Aziraphale and Crowley from any TV show of your choice?
Who does Maya play?
Who does Maya plays? Okay, we'll come back to Good Omens.
No, who plays Maya?
Who from Merlin plays Maya?
Who from Merlin plays Maya?
Is the question, other than obviously Eliane, because that's the reverse of what we said a minute ago. Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Don't do it. Oh no, you sneezed on my face again.
I don't know. I don't think we have a Maya from the Merlin cast because Morgana sort of would be the obvious person again, but obviously she's already playing. Isabel.
I was like, who is she playing? What's happening? Okay, puppy wants to leave. Say bye to the puppy. Bye. Bye.
Let's let her go and eat a crunchy now.
Okay. Well, we can double cast
Are the
Morgana.
books
She's
for
very
Shadowhunters
talented.
the Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare? Yes, they are. That is correct. Yes.
And there's 6 of them.
6 of the Mortal Instruments books.
And they pretty much span the show.
Ish.
When they had to wrap up the show, they got to the end of the
Yeah.
books.
You're welcome.
Who's Aziraphale and Crowley?
Birdie wanted to. Was it Birdie? Yes, Birdie wanted to know who was Good Omens and Merlin. So who Aziraphale and Merlin, who Aziraphale and Crowley were from Merlin.
I'm very confused. Sorry, it's Bridie. It's not Birdie. The eyes are the other end
I'm
of
sorry,
the R.
but it's the chat
It's so
stream is
small.
really tiny. So we're sorry if we've
This
just
is-
completely massacred anything
Yeah,
else.
that's why we keep doing this, because it's very small and over there. Good Omens and Merlin. I mean, obviously, Arthur and Merlin would do an awesome Aziraphale and Crowley, but equally, would they?
I mean,
They'd have to.
they'd have to. And if that was then,
Bradley James and Colin Morgan would do an awesome job. I don't know which way round.
well, Merlin is Aziraphale and Arthur is Crowley.
Yes, but is that the same with Colin and Bradley?
I think it probably is. Colin does wide-eyed and
Yeah.
sweet and guileless
So
in a
does
way
Arthur.
that no,
My gold.
he doesn't though. Like Bradley James always looks like he knows something about what's going on. Like,
even when he really doesn't.
even when he doesn't.
Equally, I would love to see Colin do a
Colin could do
Crowley.
Colin could do both.
Yeah, I think
Colin could do both,
either
but
way.
I don't think Bradley could pull off Aziraphale. I think he could pull off Crowley quite nicely.
It's
But
like Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen, yes.
yes.
When he realised that he wasn't Crowley.
Morgana
and he
as
couldn't be.
Crowley. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Fun. But then, I don't know, I think Gwen as
Gwen
Aziraphale
as
is
Aziraphale would work
beautiful.
very nicely indeed. Yep.
Lancelot as Aziraphale.
Nice. Yes. Yes.
He is so holier than thou.
Yeah. With Gawain as Crowley. That would be fun.
I would
be
watch
fun.
that. I would watch all of those versions. If I ever knew about Muller's Mansion, it could be the other way around. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Also, they'd both get to have magic. That would be nice. Who from Shadowhunters is Aziraphale and Crowley?
Well, Magnus and Alec would make a pretty good Crowley and Aziraphale.
I mean, I think Alec would
could
make a really
do
good Aziraphale. Yeah.
He could really do Aziraphale. And
Really good Aziraphale.
Magnus would have so much fun playing Crowley.
It's like, I'm not sure Harry would have so much fun playing Crowley, but Magnus would
Well, I
have
think
so much
Harry
fun.
would... literally, if Harry got cast as Crowley, he'd end up doing
Magnus doing Crowley.
as
Yeah,
Crowley.
totally.
That's what would happen.
Yeah, but Magnus would have
Magnus would have a ball playing Crowley.
Yeah.
If
No, that'd be
Magnus
awesome.
decided on an acting career,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he'd have a ball
sure.
playing Crowley.
and convinced Alec to go along with it,
Also
and then convinced
Yeah,
Good Omens to be reshot.
yeah.
But Alec would be an awesome Aziraphale.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love it.
Yeah. It'd be quite a different Aziraphale than Michael Sheen's.
Yeah,
the one
that's
on,
okay.
than the one on the page. But I think that could really, really work. Whereas
What's the femme version?
From Shadowhunters.
Yeah. I think Maya could be a fun Crowley.
Yes.
Or Alicia Wainwright could be a fun Crowley. Oi, Ziggy! Eating the ball again.
Thing is, I'm because of the way that Shadowhunters generally handled female characters, which is by making them powerful and kick-ass, which is cool. It means that that most of your like wide-eyed, sweet, innocent characters in Shadowhunters are men. Because that's the way that they subverted sort of gender stereotyping, which was cool in Shadowhunters. But like Simon, for instance, would also make a really good Aziraphale.
Yes, he would.
Yes,
he would.
But Clary's not wide-eyed like that. Clary's not.
If Simon's Aziraphale, then Raphael would make a fun Crowley.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good. That would be fun. Yes, that would be fun.
Yeah, no, maybe Shadowhunters can't be femme Good Omen.
But I think
you've got a point.
But I think, like, if you take Crowley as Aziraphale, for instance, then Clary would make a good Crowley for Simon's Aziraphale.
Yes, she would.
I think
she would be lovely.
Isabel would make a good Crowley for Simon's Aziraphale.
Yep. Yeah.
But I think all the female characters we have are Crowleys, not Aziraphales.
Yeah, and a lot of our
and I think most of our male characters are Aziraphales, because I think Jace could do a passable either of them. I think
Jace would be just an amazingly interesting Aziraphale.
I think he would. Yes.
Possibly with slightly more questioning himself, but I think get Jace doing both.
Yeah.
Like,
get Jace doing both.
No, literally, like make Jace do both.
The most self-indulgent.
It's my Good Omens, okay?
So Jace is playing all the roles. It's my party.
There's only 2 roles. He would do both
party
bits
just for you and Juniper.
Just for me and Juniper. Yeah. We would have it.
Yeah. But no, I think largely we have
No, I think you're very astute with that. Yeah. I think our boys are Aziraphales and our girls are Crowleys. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Firefly.
You want to do Firefly?
In Good Omens.
Oh,
You're just casting Aziraphale and Crowley through the ages now.
okay.
For all of these, I keep thinking I want to see Alberta do all the characters like Orphan Black style. I mean, like, yes, absolutely doing it, but because Alberta is just, he is so talented. And he could totally rock Orphan Black. Firefly.
Kaylee's Aziraphale, Mal's Crowley.
Okay. Yep. I'm okay with that.
It would be quite a different vibe, quite a different chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
But they certainly had the chemistry.
Yeah. Black Sails.
Wouldn't Jack and Anne make a fascinating Crowley and Aziraphale? With Anne as Aziraphale.
I mean, it'd have to be. Like, Jack is Crowley.
Fascinating. Jack is Crowley. Jack is actually Crowley.
Yeah.
And as far as like Aziraphale that we get in the show in the book, I think probably Billy Bones is closest to Aziraphale. That's the closest character we have to Aziraphale.
Early Billy Bones.
But
Billy Bones.
I think Anne would be really interesting for it because she's very, very violent.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a sort of by the bookness about her that's sort of like, and there's a sort of purity about her, which is kind of interesting.
But it would be a very different Aziraphale.
It would be a very different Good Omens.
Yeah.
But
so much more murder.
But there's a sort of a vengeful angel kind of a vibe that you can get from her.
Buffy.
Willow's Aziraphale.
Yes, Willow is absolutely Aziraphale.
And actually, Willow and Xander would make an interesting Crowley and Aziraphale.
Mm-hmm.
There's like the sort of like workarounds from doing your job properly is something that like that sounds really awful, but like I can sort of see Xander doing that thing, the kind of like work smart not hard kind of
totally.
of a vibe, and that sort of like air of misfortune that Crowley has, like that things just go wrong for him.
Yeah.
But
and he means well, but equally he also gets frustrated and all of that.
In the same way that Jack Rackham is Crowley and Jack Rackham is Spike and Spike is Jack Rackham, Spike is also Crowley.
Yeah, Spike is also Crowley, absolutely.
And wouldn't Spike and Willow make the most adorable?
Well, this
Crowley
is kind of because I was thinking, like, later on, Spike is a much more like easily understandable Crowley.
Yeah.
And then you've obviously got like the whole Chip and Willow's student bedroom, and like you've got that dynamic, and like that's it.
Yeah,
that's Aziraphale and Crowley.
Yep.
Buffy style.
Yep. There's a lot of talk in the chat about Teen Wolf and whether we watched any more and whether you have any thoughts on Void Styles.
Void Styles. Ruth has absolutely no idea what we're talking about. Void Styles is the best.
Okay.
He's so good.
Okay.
He's so good.
Angel as Adam from Good Omens or Angel as Adam
from Buffy.
Buffy. That doesn't make any sense. That's not recasting anybody as anybody. So you must be from Good Omens. Yeah.
As in Angel as the Antichrist.
Angel as the Antichrist who decides not to be an Antichrist.
Oh, James would be such a cute little Antichrist. He could be Aziraphale and Crowley and the Antichrist. In mine and Juniper's Good Omens.
Juniper's Good Omens.
Yeah. Would you stop it?
Whoa.
Monster. Stars, not stars.
Spelling.
When you spell it with a Y, it's Harry.
Yes.
Yes.
He spells it with a Y. Yes.
I don't really know who that is, but he does the singing.
He does do the singing.
From one of those boy bands that's no longer a boy band.
Yes.
And now he is a superstar by himself.
Yes.
Yeah, I know stuff. I'm down with the kids. And they're trying to think of like other Adams. But now I just want it to be Jace. Even if we're doing Buffy, I want it to be Jace. I like Jace. He's my favourite.
Yeah. Dawn was sort of Adam. Sort of.
Claire is kind of Adam.
Claire is kind of Adam. That would be fun. Clary's Adam to Magnus and Alec is Brody to Zero.
That would be a laugh.
Yeah.
Morgana's kind of Adam.
Morgana is a little bit Adam. Mordred's definitely Adam.
Oh. Anyway.
Hi, Poopadoo.
I was just about to say, anyway, I think we should head off. I'm sorry, Poopadoo. I hope you're well.
Yeah. Does anybody have any fan casting they desperately want us to do? Just before we sign off, just
Asa Mordred or Alex Mordred? Oh, definitely little Mordred.
Yeah.
Because they were little.
Yeah.
I mean that's just, they're both children, so it makes sense in my head. But also Alex Flavos Mordred is kind of, I don't know. I'm quite looking forward. I mean, that's season 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it'll be a while, but I know in theory what grown-up Mordred does and how he works, but I don't remember it in grand detail, so I wouldn't want to speak on him. But definitely baby Mordred to be baby Antichrist.
Baby Antichrist. So, does anybody have any last-minute fan casting for us to do before we?
Or any other
sign off?
questions.
Or any other questions or things that they would like us to comment on.
Because the puppy is chewing a bottle, and at some point we're going to have to take the puppy outside for another run so he goes to sleep again.
Yeah.
Yes. How are you?
How am I? I'm all right. I'm tired. I'm getting hungry. It's nearly dinner time.
Well, next weekend you will learn things about cooking with Matthew Dario. But tonight you have to cook all by yourself.
I've not learned anything about cooking with Matthew Dario. Also, he's going to cook steak.
I was going to say, if you're going to learn anything, it's going to be a useless thing because he's just going to cook a cow. Asa Mordred is awesome. Asa Mordred is an Antichrist. Danny Mordred.
Tiny Mordred.
Tiny
Tiny
Antichrist.
Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I think if no one's got any more questions, we're going to sign off. We hope this was fun.
Yeah,
I thought it was fun.
It was fun. And there's lots more shows, so we can do it again with different shows. Yeah, he's going to cook a cow. Yeah, definitely going to cook
He
a cow.
is, though. Maybe he's going to surprise all of us. He's going to cook a vegetarian meal just to mess with our heads, because that's what he does. But
Well, I'd appreciate it, but I don't think he's going
no, I don't think you're going to get him cooking a curry. And if it is, it's a curried cow.
Curried cow.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
And we will work out what we're going to do for the next one.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions for similar kinds of game sort of things that we could play, then we'll add them to the list because we're always looking for stuff to do in lives.
Yes, fling them our way on the Twitter or the Tumblr or the email or the anything else. Tanoka says, I have no idea who he is, but he sounds fun. There's Matthew Dario. Google him.
Who plays
He is fun.
Alec in Shadowhunters, apropos the earlier conversation.
He's fun.
Yeah.
And yes, Kristen says, can't wait for DNC to start back up. So we're back with Destiny and Chicken on the 17th of September.
17th.
And we are doing the 2-parter in one podcast. So we're doing both episode part 1 and 2 in one podcast on the 17th. So watch both episodes for that one.
Thank you for joining us, Poopadoo. And we'll schedule it later next time so you have a better chance of making it.
Yes.
Oh, come
Okay.
later.
We'll see you
Thanks,
later.
everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, no, the puppy's not here to say bye. Say bye, puppy.